Welcome to Design Center. Today I'll be showing you how to make a Grecian neckline bodice for my new collection that I'm working on. We make a straight line using the grading ruler and then mark the bust line, chest line and the waistline. The waistline will be marked at 15 inches from the shoulder point. The bust level will be at 11 inches from the shoulder point, and 1.5 inch above the bust level is the chest level. And these measurements are taken from the dress form that I have, so the measurements will vary from person to person. Using the right angle ruler, I mark horizontal lines from each of these 3 points. The first one is the chest line, then 1.5 inch below the chest line is the bust line, which will also be marked using the horizontal line that I make from the right angle ruler, and then the waistline, which is at 15 inches from the shoulder point. Then to make the neckline, first we go down by 2 inches, and then on the topmost horizontal line that is drawn, go out by 3 inches, and that will make a rectangle for the neckline curving. Using the right angle ruler, once again make the straight lines, hence making the rectangle for the neckline. Using the French curve to make the curve of the neckline. Then we move on to the shoulder lines and developing the shoulder. So marking the shoulder point at 5.5 inches, which is the measurement of my shoulder, the dress form, and then marking 5.5 inches on the chest line. Once again, taking the right angle ruler and connecting the 2 points to make a straight line. You take the measurement from bust point to bust point of your dress form or yourself for the Grecian neckline bodice, and in this case it is 3.5 inches, which is what I am marking on the waistline, and then going up to the chest line using the right angle ruler. We make the dart of 1.5 inches. So on both sides you go out by 6 by 8 inches, and then on the straight line, the vertical line that you draw, you go down by 1 inch from the chest line point. The vertical line which is meeting at the chest line point, from that point you go down by 1 inch and you join to make the dart. On the chest line, go out by 2 by 8 inches on both sides, and you'll have a 1/2 inch dart, which you should make using the curve of the French curve blending into the waist dart. On the line that we drew from the shoulder level to the chest level, go down by 1/2 inch and join it using a diagonal line to the neckline, and that will be the joining of the shoulder and the neckline. Measure the length of the diagonal line, which is the shoulder line, and divide it by 1/2 and mark a point. Fold the tape again in half and mark a second point towards the neckline. Place the measuring tape on the point where the shoulder line touches the vertical line and fold the tape in half and mark a point. Then using a ruler, go out by 1/2 inch. Divide the bust circumference divide by 2 and then add 1 inch for ease, and then divide it again by 2. So I mark 9 inch on the chest line. For the waistline, Divide the waist circumference by 2, add 1 inch ease, and then divide it again by 2. So 7.25 is the original measurement that I'm putting in using the ruler, and then add 1.5 inch more because of the 1.5 inch waist dart. Make the armhole using the hip curve, joining the shoulder point to the half-inch extension from the midpoint of the vertical line to the bust point on the chest line. Chest line, go in by 1 inch. This is for the curve of the Grecian neckline. You can go in by 1.5 inch or 2 inches even. Then join a straight line from the midpoint of the shoulder line to the midpoint of the chest line dart. And from the middle of the shoulder line to the 1 or 1.5 inch point that you made on the chest line using the hip curve, make a curved line because a curve is always good and it sits well on the body. So this Grecian neckline also has a curved structure. So using the hip curve, make a curved line. Using the French curve, we make the curve portion for the Grecian neckline bodice. Extend the dart on the chest line to the curve that we just made using the French curve. Using the measuring tape, measure the width of the new dart that is on the curved portion and extend that amount on the chest line, which will be the new bust point. So this is about 1 inch. The dart is 1 inch, so I extend the point on the chest line to 1 inch and then I join the side seam to the waistline. Now picking the dart leg towards the center front, I lift it and put it on the other dart leg to drew the dart and make sure that it's on the right level. I don't know if this is done, but I did it so that there's like a matching and a perfect alignment. So using the tracing wheel, you just drew the dart. Then lifting the dart leg of the waist dart and putting it on the other dart leg to once again drew the dart and make proper alignment. So the step of measuring the dart width and adding that much width to the bust point is what I'm doing here. So this dart width is about 1 inch wide. So using the grading ruler, I'm going to be adding 1 inch as you can see in the video. I'll be making the point with the pencil and then joining it to the waistline to make the final side seam. Using the French curve, I curve in the side seam a little bit for better fit and better look. Now on the side seam curve from the bust level, go down 1 inch and then join to the point where I am joining like in the video. Join to the point of the bust level horizontal line. Like you can see in the video, it's pretty clear. Going down by 1 inch and then joining it on the bust level point. Now there's a dart on the side seam and you pick the slant line that you just drew and you fold it and place it on the other dart leg, and the fold has to be facing downwards towards the waistline. That's the rule of folding the dart in the horizontal manner. So you place that dart leg on the other dart leg, and using the tracing wheel again drew the line, and then using the French curve, make sure that the side seam curve is in proper alignment with the new dart that was just made, and it will be closed. Take the French curve and blend the waistline dart with the chest level dart that was extended onto the curved line for the neckline portion of this Grecian neckline bodice. After I made this pattern, I wanted to actually increase this width that I'm writing with the pencil now. So I increased it to 1.5 inches instead of the 1 inch. And so my strap for the Grecian neckline would be a bit more narrow. So that's why I made it 1.5 inches. Now I'm going to be cutting the pattern, and it's important to note how I am cutting this pattern, because any mistake and you might have to make the pattern again, so just watch this part very carefully. So that was the end of this video and this tutorial, and I hope you liked it and you learned something. And I'll definitely try to make the tutorial for the other patterns that I'm making for my new collection in this 3-piece mini collection that I'm making. So I hope you liked it, and if you did like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and definitely try to follow me on Patreon also. Thank you so much for watching.